But I was sitting here, and all of a sudden, there's like this whoosh. What's up, guys? So I am filming this video because I have, I guess, a little story time sort of deal for you guys right now. I am at home. For those of you who don't know, I live in a 1982 Bluebird school bus, and it's really awesome. We live on a property with several other people in sort of a community style living arrangement. We have 40 acres, a lot of which is forest. We have a main lodge, which is this Italian style villa house with a garden in the center and rooms around that garden, and then a kitchen and a great room and a temple at the back for like yoga and rituals and cool stuff like that, just ceremonial stuff, because the owner of the property was gifted this property by a hierarchy of a long line of people with native blood who were tied to the original native tribe that actually camped on this land on their way through this area a long time ago. So this is sacred Native American land that we live on, and we are all responsible of kind of taking care of it. So yeah, I wouldn't say that the property is haunted necessarily. Because I don't really think that the spirits are necessarily bad, and I don't know about you guys, but personally, I consider hauntings to be more like sort of more aggressive kind of spirits who really just target people and want people to know that they are present, who need to communicate, who knock things off of shelves. You know, that's what I consider to be a haunting. But here, it's like there are spirits present who just belong with the land, who came here and stayed here when they passed on or possibly returned. But yeah, so it's a very interesting place to live. We have come here after a long line of people have kind of come and go. We don't really know the details of a lot of the things that happened with the people who were responsible for this land before our group. I believe the owner has been here for quite some time now, but she has had a multitude of different people kind of come in, and a lot of those people, I guess, kind of just trashed the place, like they took it for granted. And this is a beautiful property, but when we came in, it was kind of like there were piles of garbage everywhere. The animals that live on this property, we have goats, we have llamas, they were kind of in distress, and we sort of have had to do a lot of work to kind of pick things back up, and things are going great, very well. So yeah, that's kind of a backstory. It's a preface for the situation that I'm experiencing. So since I have been here, I wouldn't say that I've experienced anything super paranormal, but for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a very open-minded individual. I've had a lot of experiences with this kinds of thing personally, and it's hard for me not to be a very firm believer in this stuff. I'm always very aware, and I make an effort to be respectful of things that might be a little otherworldly, because you really never know. And I'm going to be making a couple of videos like this sort of on this subject. Let me know if you guys like them. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to me if you want to see some more stuff. So over the past month or so that we've been here, I've learned a lot about this land, and it's all been kind of more through my personal experience with it. The first night that I came here, we don't have a bathroom in our bus, so we have the communal bathroom in the lodge that we use, and I went out to go to the communal bathroom because I had to pee, and I just experienced this feeling. It wasn't necessarily bad, it wasn't necessarily good. I just experienced this feeling of being watched very closely. And one of the guys that lives on this property said, the owner of this property goes away a lot for tours where she goes and teaches healing methods to a lot of different people. So she's gone a lot. She travels. And the guy said that it could possibly be her. Just kind of checking in, you know, because I don't know, a lot of you might not believe anything that I say here, but there's this method of astral projection where you can kind of go and, you know, go to different places. And I can only imagine that this woman is very capable of doing so because she is a highly evolved spiritual teacher. And it's quite something to be around her. She's got a presence. It's very strong. And yeah, so I went into the house and I felt like I was being watched, and you know, nothing happened. There was a cat that I met and the cat was really nice, so I picked up the cat and hung out with the cat for a little bit, put her down, and came back to the bus. And over the last couple of weeks, I've just kind of noticed, you know, I'll go outside at night, one night, and I'll feel like this peace. You know, it's just the stars are out, the wind is not present, it's not cold, you can just kind of be out there. There's a sort of light to the air. And then the next night, it'll be like just dead quiet, really eerie, kind of thick. And, you know, the fog will roll in because we live in kind of this valley, sort of farmland area. And it gets kind of weird, and you don't really want to be outside for very long, you know? You don't want to really walk to the communal bathroom to go, and you just kind of have to deal with it. But yeah, so that's kind of the history of what I've been experiencing. So here is the story that I have for you guys. It's not a very long one, and I will tell you why. So my boyfriend and I live in this bus, and he is gone right now to a family event because it's Christmas Eve. Happy holidays, everybody. So I was sitting here in bed watching YouTube because I love YouTube. I'm very entertained by some of the channels. And this tapestry here behind me covers a series of windows. So you guys might remember being little and going on a school bus. Well, our windows are the type that are about this big, this tall, and the window will pop down if you just press these two latches and slide it. It pops down about halfway. So here's the full window. The window comes down to about here. You just pop, slide it down. So we have a wood stove, and it got really hot in here, so I just kind of slid the window down about halfway, and I put the tapestry over it. I was just kicking it right here, and mind you, there is no wind outside tonight. No wind. I have never experienced wind coming in through these windows and like fluttering the tapestries before. That's never happened, and we have had some really windy nights since we've been here. But I was sitting here, and all of a sudden, there's like this whoosh, and this tapestry just goes whoosh, like something had just gone by the window super, super fast. And at first, I thought that it was my cat behind the tapestry because the tapestry was going like this. So the cat sometimes likes to climb behind the tapestries when the windows are open to try and sneak out the windows because he is fascinated with the outside. But this tapestry was going like this. So I was like, oh shit, I need to get the cat out from behind there before he escapes. I really don't want to go outside right now. So I look behind the tapestry, ready to grab the cat, and there's nothing there. So immediately, of course, my second initial reaction is, crap, I closed the window as fast as I possibly could, shut the tapestry, and I was just kind of sitting in here, And my dog was like up against the window over there, kind of just looking out, kind of like down towards the ground. And this really could be nothing. You know, my dog didn't seem upset about it. He was just looking like, what? There's something there, kind of thing. This could be nothing, you know, because we do have a peacock on this land. His name is Casanova. He's a very proud animal. You will probably see pictures of him on my Instagram very soon. But he flies. So, you know, it did kind of seem like maybe it could have been something flying past the window super fast. And I mean, there are other animals here. We do live in a rural area where there's forests. You know, it could have been an animal that just came by. But it just felt very odd. You know, it was very weird. So all of tonight I've kind of been like up on edge, you know, like, oh gosh, like, yeah. And you know, I've heard some sounds out there since that happened as well, just like rustling noises, and you know, so I'm thinking it might be an animal, but you really never know. And because of the way that this property is, it's like I kind of feel like I'm like waiting for a bomb to go off, kind of thing, you know, because I do notice these things. Like, I am aware of these otherworldly things, and those of you who are also aware and interested in this kind of thing might realize that when you are aware of those things, they know you are aware of them, so they feel more comfortable around you. Or if they're trying to communicate, they know, hey, I can communicate to this person because they acknowledge me. So I'm just kind of waiting for all the spirits here to realize, like, hey, I can actually come and talk with this person, kind of thing, like communicate with her. And, you know, because I have been in places before where there are spirits, and I have, you know, it kind of just increases, and, you know, things start to happen. And it's never been to the point where I have felt scared. I've never really felt super worried about any of it. You know, I'm very, very good at sort of being present and aware to the point where I know what my energy is looking like, and I can kind of protect myself from outside energetic influence. I put white circles around myself all the time. I utilize crystal healing, and you know, I try to maintain a very positive, sort of uplifting energy. And I'm really hoping that, you know, that has been part of the reason why I've always been comfortable, even with otherworldly presences. So yeah, that was my quick little story. I'll definitely update you guys to let you know if anything else is discovered, or if I find anything else out about this stuff. And yeah, by the way, so this is my natural hair right now. I don't like it at all. My hair was originally super long, and I cut it because I bleached the crap out of it and it fried it off, so I had to cut it super short, and I hate it. I'm trying to figure out like what to do with it. So now I'm slicking it back a little bit just to see, you know, kind of how it looks, and if I like it. But to end off this video, I am actually going to read you a couple of creepy stories just to kind of finish out the vibe that you guys are probably seeking in a video like this. So let's see. This this story is titled Fixer Upper. My parents bought their first house back in 1972. It was a fixer-upper, but they decided to move in right away and fix things as time/money permitted. Within a few days of moving in, the new neighbors came over to introduce themselves. They also let my parents know that the previous owners had moved out after a nasty divorce. They had lost their second baby from SIDS, and their relationship went downhill from there. My parents were horrified, more so because they were newly pregnant and couldn't imagine going through such a thing. They eventually pretty much forgot about it. Life went on in preparation for the baby. They decided to wallpaper the nursery. Now, my dad told my mom there was no need in wallpapering the inside of the closet, but she insisted. She was kneeling down, scraping old paint inside of the closet, when her eyes fell upon something that made her blood turn to ice. Written in crayon at about eye level for a kindergartner in childish scrawl was, "I killed the baby." Whoa, that's so creepy. So that means that child they had actually murdered the baby. Oh my gosh, that child must have been so jealous of all that attention that the baby was getting. Oh, and then it has this really creepy picture of a doll swinging on a swing set. I don't like that. Oh my goodness. Okay. This one is called Taking a Shower. Woke up one night around 1 a.m., heard the shower was on. I first thought it was my brother. He works night shifts, so thought he had come home late and was in the shower. It went on for about half an hour until I got up and went to see what he was doing. No one was in the shower. My brother wasn't home yet. I was the only one in this house. To this day, I had no idea how it turned on or who did it. Almost 5 years later, and I still think about it. Even writing this now, I feel like turning on every light in the house. Yikes. And the third and final one I'm going to read to you is called Hunter. My old coworker had a son named Hunter that was 4 or 5. She said that Hunter would have bad dreams and that he would sleep with his dad when he got scared. One night, his dad woke up because he heard Hunter calling him, but he was calling him by his name, not Dad. So he went to his room and he was asleep. He woke him up and said, "Hunter, you were calling me. Is everything okay?" And Hunter said, "Dad, when they call, you're not supposed to answer," and fell back asleep. He asked him about it in the morning, and he said he didn't remember saying it. I get chills when I think about it. That is definitely creepy. I am very creeped out by children who say creepy things like that because children have a closer connection to the other world than adults do. So anything that they say like that, you can't really take it with a grain of salt, unfortunately. So with that, I am going to conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you stick around.